picking right up where we left off. Here's my banana shape, and there it goes. There it goes. Come back to me, my banana. There we go. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about, now that we've got the basic shape done, I could refine things a little bit more. I've got it coming to a little bit too much of a point here compared to my reference, so I'm going to go in and fix that while I'm talking. First things first, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer. I am. Cool. We're going to Okay, I'm on the reference. For a hot second, I thought I drew on the background layer, which is a sin. We don't want to sin. I did apparently draw on the background layer when I was filling in. That's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. For what we're doing here, I'm not going to worry about going back to correct that. So I was mentioning that I need to round this out a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not quite so pointy. Maybe it is down here that I need to make my brush come in and fix that. To a certain degree, your tablets will respond to how much pressure you put down, but only to a certain degree. That's going to bother me, so I'm going to sample my background color, jump on the background layer, and I'm just going to fill it again. That'll get rid of it. Bye! Cool. All right, let's talk about some details and lighting. So I picked this picture for you guys to try specifically because there's some very defined planes of light and shadow. We've got kind of our mid-tone color. We've got this lighter plane of the banana. The light direction is coming from this way. Oh, hey, that's purple. So the light's hitting there and your shadows cast this way. So I'm going to come in and if I can get my windows arranged properly, this is a little bit too big. Maybe. I'm going to eyedropper that there banana tool. And if it's easier for you to flip back and forth and not pull it out, that might be a better idea than what I'm doing. Because right now I'm riding the struggle bus. There we go. So I'm going to come in and pick that really light banana color. I'm going to make my brush smaller. And I'm going to have that come out. I'm going to draw it in before I do my flats. I'm going to teach you a fun thing about shading and stuff. I've got the basic shape of my banana. I don't want any of my stuff to come outside of the banana, which I don't actually. I can do a neat trick called locking my pixels. If I'm on layer 1 and I've already got paint applied to layer 1, I can come up to this weird little box. If I hover, it says lock transparent pixels. That means anything that doesn't already have paint in it is not going to accept a brush. So watch what I do here. I'm on my paintbrush, I've got a color, I've locked my pixels. It will only show up on what you've already sketched out. Pretty handy, if you ask me. I only just figured that out this summer, and it would have saved me so much time as a teen. So, back to the banana at hand. I kind of want a thin loop coming down here for that highlight plane. So I'm going to sketch that in like so. And I probably should go back in and make that top even skinnier. But notice how I'm able to just completely go outside of that banana and my highlight stays in. Isn't it brilliant? We love it. We love to see it. Kind of looks like a banana, but we need more detail, and that's what I'm here to teach you about. So I just have kind of like an arc swooping down. This comes down as a straight line, so we need to make that more evident. That bend, the banana bend, if you will. And then we'll get into that green in a hot second. So we've got our highlight, and if we are observationalists, we'll notice it's a little bit lighter down here too. Just a little bit. This might be a good case for dropping the opacity of my brush a little bit because it's not quite as ostentatious. That's too bright, but it's still there. So I'm going to drop it to like 47% just to show that that banana comes to a point and some of that is hitting the light. Okay? Come brush some of that up. And if I want to make that highlight a little more gradual, I'm coming in right along the edge using my opacity. some of this depends on what style of painting you're doing. Like if you're going for more cartoony, it's okay to have more abrupt transitions. But for stuff like this, it may not be an awful idea to come in with that softer style. All right, so we've got our banana highlight. Now we're going to pull in some of that weird green, the banana green, if you will. Back to my eyedropper. And eyedrop that weird, it's actually not necessarily a shade of green, it's just a lot of yellow mixed in towards black. It's a tint of yellow. See, this is a good reason to draw what you see, not what you know. I thought I knew that was green, but I'm a liar. So again, I'm going to come in with a soft brush. You can decide what opacity you want to use. The lower your opacity, the less it's going to show. Come down into that. I could probably go back up to my regular almost. Banana, banana, banana all day. Do I see that green anywhere else? Nah, it kind of stops on that plane right there. Now it looks like an eggplant. I'm going to sample another color because there's many colors within that one swatch of green. So let's come back to the banana reference and just move it around a little bit. See, if you look at my color picker, which is up in the right corner, that circle, woo! That circle was moving around. Now it just flew off the screen. See how that shade changed a little bit? Just a little bit. It's a little bit darker up there, so we'll see if that shows up well. Bet you never thought this hard about painting a banana, and you just kind of want to blend those colors. The other thing you can do, and I don't want you all to go crazy with this, but there is a smudge tool you can use. I typically stick with soft round for smudge. I typically don't bump the strength up too high. It usually starts at 50. That's way too high. But this can be a nice way of getting your blends to look a little less rough. And you can't go too fast or move too much at one time, just because your smudge tool will make your computer freak out. And then it'll be forever before it's ready to move on. And you'll get the spinny window of death. So I'm just coming in. So far, so banana. If I really wanted to delineate, I'm going to make that backside a little bit darker. So let's see. I'm not getting the right shade from my sampling, so I'm going to come over here and just go a little bit darker. That's better. Just to show that this banana has two planes. And by plane, I mean sides. Not zip plane. Alright. Next, we'll tackle some of those brown bits.